First name Sandy,
Last name butthole. My throat misses your cock.
Thinking about your cock, send.
That's why you're going like this.
Yes. I want to like lick your head. Getting fingered on a roller coaster is my new bucket list item. Hello, my Luvbites fam, and welcome back to Luvbites by Dr. Tara podcast. Today with me is Tawny, the sober sexpert. Hi, Tawny.
Hello, my love.
Feeling orgasmic?
Very orgasmic. Thank you. And you?
And yeah, I'm wearing this shirt that says Seggs. It's a sex positive clothing brand from Paris, and so I'm really embodying it today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, having an orgasmic morning.
Perfect.
You came all the way from New York.
I did. Thank you for having me. Had some beach time last night. And
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Beach at night.
Night beach is a whole vibe.
It is a whole vibe.
Yeah.
Have you ever had sex on the beach?
I have not, actually.
It's very sandy.
I was going to say, I don't know that I even want to.
It's overrated.
Yeah, I still have sand in my shoes, and that's annoying me. So
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I don't think I'd want it anywhere else.
Imagine having sand in your butt crack.
I don't want to. No, I'm good.
Unless you're like into it.
I
Like,
wouldn't.
ooh,
Yeah, no
yeah,
kink shame if you're
like
if you are into
butt-
sandy
butt
buttholes,
crack.
but not for me.
Sandy butthole kink.
Yeah, that would be like a good drag name, Sandy Butthole.
I love that.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like first name Sandy, last name butthole.
Yeah.
What is one of your kinks?
You know, I'm very much getting into impact play.
Oh, tell us more, Tawny.
It is really helping me with my anxiety.
Oh,
Like there's a lot of research, as you know, there's a lot of research that shows how BDSM can help people
it's like healing.
get out of your head and into your body. And I'm finding that for myself.
Oh my God, tell us more. I'm very intrigued by that.
Well, you know, there are moments when I'm being intimate with my husband and he can see that I'm just like mentally disassociating. I have sexual trauma, which I talk about in the book and that I'm working through in therapy, but it's like it pulls me out of the moment sometimes. And a little bit of impact play gets me back into my body. We've been together long enough and he knows like she's starting to drift.
How long have
I'm
you
going to
guys
bring
been
her
together?
back. 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah,
That's a long time.
and we got married last month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you do some impact play the wedding night?
No, you know what? We did not. I was actually very present. We got like a nice hotel room. We went to the courthouse.
Oh, okay. Love that. In New York?
In New York.
Is it beautiful? I've never been.
It was.
Is it the one at Sex in the City?
Oh, you know what? Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But he didn't leave me. He actually showed up.
Well, they end up together.
That's
a whole different story.
Yeah, that's another episode.
Okay, impact play. What kind have you been exploring? Like the hand, like ass slap?
Yeah, like,
that.
some slaps. I like the what is that? The wheel? What's that like rolling wheel thing?
Yeah.
What is that called?
I think it's the rolling wheel.
I love that. And like just
It's like pinching a little bit, right?
pinwheel.
Yeah,
Pinwheel. I really like that. Just these things that just like I'm so cerebral. So
Yeah.
impact play reminds me that I exist below
my
here.
God. This is like a whole niche. Impact play for intellectual girls. Like if you're
Yes.
girl, listen, are you cerebral? You think all day? You work in finance?
Yes.
Are you a computer scientist?
Get a pinwheel.
Get a pinwheel. Oh my God, I can see the whole ad, like pinwheel for cerebral girls.
Yes, I love it. That's great branding right there.
That's your next product.
I'm in.
I know you're coming up with non-alcoholic drinks.
Yes.
Yes.
My husband and I have a non-alcoholic drink called Parentheses. It's a botanical beverage. It's 2 different drinks. The first drink, we use herbs that stimulate the senses, and the second drink is herbs that calm and relax the senses. So it could be before and after a drink, before and after impact play,
Okay.
before and after date night. But it really, like when you quit drinking, you miss these rituals.
Yeah.
Just like splitting a bottle of wine, stuff like that. So my
It's
partner's
definitely a ritual.
It's a ritual.
Yeah.
And my husband is also, we're both in recovery, so we like that we've created this drink that can become its own ritual that you can bring into your own sober curious lifestyle.
You talk about your journey a lot in your book Dry Humping. When did you start drinking?
I started self-medicating with drugs and alcohol around like 14, 15. But when I got into the restaurant industry, I bartended, waited tables. That's when the binge drinking became the norm. I was binge drinking regularly. Anyone who's worked in the restaurant industry knows that it is a very boozy, druggy place. And yeah, it was alcohol was a way for me to hide from reality. And yeah.
And I see that a lot still in young adults. And, you know, a lot of my audience is millennials and Gen Zs. And I see people who are sometimes socially drinking, having a good time with friends, but I've also seen people who are definitely struggling with the inability to socialize without alcohol. Like literally have massive anxiety without drinking and talking to people.
Yeah. I mean, and I address that in the book is, you know, it's really, you're describing liquid courage. You know, it's
liquid courage.
Yes, it is a huge part of dating and just interpersonal relationships in general.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, for the context of my book, it's about dating and sex, you know, and there is a lot of insecurity, anxiety, undiagnosed mental health issues. Like we all drink for our own reasons.
Right.
You know, like what the hell is liquid courage? Why are we as a culture so obsessed and reliant upon it? How does it show up in film and television? And how we can live without it, you know, how we can replace liquid courage with what I call intrinsic courage.
Which is?
Finding real confidence, you know, like people.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, obviously. Yes, of course.
Self-empowerment, raising your own self-esteem.
Yes.
Having a consistent, positive view of yourself, minus any other external validation, including alcohol.
Totally. And when people quit drinking, a lot of times they think, oh, my life's going to get better now. I've removed the problem. Alcohol was the problem. And spoiler alert, you're just getting started. Alcohol abuse is usually a symptom of a larger problem. It's usually, for me, I was self-medicating PTSD, anxiety, depression, and I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the language. I didn't know what I was dealing with. I just knew that I felt better when I was numb. But once I quit drinking, I was able to finally address those issues and figure out who my real friends are versus my drinking buddies.
Yeah. Party friends.
Party friends versus the people that are going to be there for you when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 of the book is called Dating Yourself. When you quit drinking, you have to figure out who you are without alcohol. Even if you're just doing a dry month, you know, even if you're just sober curious, doing dry January, whatever, really figure out, why are you so reliant on that drink? Why are you grabbing it? You know, and you know this, you know, I'm not anti-alcohol at all.
Right.
So if you can drink every once in a while, or there's people who can drink like every night and they're fine.
Right.
You know, I'm not against it.
Right.
What
all the Italian people that have like a glass of wine a night and live to like 120 years old.
Exactly. They have wine at like 11 a.m. I mean,
yeah.
Do you?
But that's when you're like not abusing it.
Totally. We're talking, what this book is about is alcohol abuse and how that intersects with your sex and dating life.
And how to find your courage.
And how to replace it with real, authentic courage. And I will say the number one tip when people are like, how can I feel more confident in the bedroom without alcohol? That's probably the number one question I get. I remind people, look, you quit drinking in a really, really boozy world. Like, that's one of the most confident things that you can do. That's the confidence you take into the bedroom. That's the confidence you take onto your first date.
Yes. Hold on to that feeling.
Hold on to that.
Because the fact that you took action.
Yeah, you're standing up for yourself and for your mental health in such a huge way by deciding to not drink or drink less, be a mindful drinker. You're really like saying fuck you to the system and you're standing up for yourself. Like, that's real confidence right there.
Talking about dating, if you're dating and mingling, it's always, always good to stay safe. When it comes to sexual health, I am a big fan of regular testing and actually normalizing sharing our results. So I want to talk about BasisDX. BasisDX is an at-home testing kit for STD and STI. It's shipped right to your home. You take the test, you ship it back to BasisDX, and in 48 hours, you get your results on your phone.
That's amazing.
And you can literally airdrop that to everyone.
Update your Tinder.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm horny. I'm ready. Here's my results. Let me
Yes.
airdrop it to you. So I'm a big fan of BasisDX. You can click the link in the episode description. You can also go to BasisDX.com. Talking about dating, we have a game
Yes.
called Second Date or I'm Ditching.
All right, let's do it.
All right, I'm going to give you a scenario and you'll tell me, oh, yes, second date. Or like,
Okay.
no, I'm ditching. I'm not about this. Okay. Number one, they order 45 oysters on the first date.
45 oysters. Are they baked or raw?
Girl, cerebral.
I told you. Get the
Okay.
pinwheel. Get the
They
pinwheel.
order 45 oysters on the first date.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Round two.
Second date.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
it.
He says he can't smash without tequila.
Oh, bye.
He says he's sober.
Yeah, let's go.
You ask him what he does for work, and he says he's a DJ at Coyote Ugly, which means he's unemployed.
I don't think I could date a bartender. I just mentioned how that's triggering for me, so bye. Sorry.
Ditching.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5. He asks you about your body count.
First of all, I hate that term. I don't know where that came from, like, because I just think of dead bodies. But anyway, no. On your first date, no, you don't need to go there. No, ditch. Bye.
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 Okay, so in the next segment of my show is answering questions from my followers. And this first question, I'm like very passionate in answering it because whenever my followers leave a question, which you can on Luvbites.co, and you click ask and you can ask away. This person wrote like the whole context for this question.
Oh,
so
right.
I really, really want to answer it together. As your internet's resident sexpert and our sober sexpert, we are going to answer your questions. All right, Tawny. First question is from Phoebe, and she asks, I've been with my boyfriend for over 2 years now. When we first started dating, we were like rabbits in bed constantly. He makes me come multiple times every time we have sex, but for some reason, I've been lazy with sex. I haven't initiated things in 10 months, and he brought it up the other day, and now I don't know what to do. I know why I stopped initiating or saying no to sex. I used to give the best head, and I don't give head anymore. I see it as a chore. What do? I really need your help. Well, it's not a blow job, it's a blow opportunity.
Blopportunity.
Blopportunity. It's a blow opportunity. This is so goddamn common. First of all, let's say, girl, no shame. Like, it's a very common human phenomenon. When you start dating someone, there's a lot of excitement and novelty and butterflies. And when people tell me, like, how can we go back to when we first started dating? I always say you don't want to because you are now different people. What you want to do is actually reestablishing who are we now, as of now, and where do we want to go sexually?
Yes.
We don't want to go back. We want to go forward. What do you think?
No, I completely agree. It's like that question of like, how do we get back to square one?
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot. And I think that's a good thing is because you guys have stayed together and you're in this new era, you know? So like, let's explore that. Like, what are your interests now? What are you, like, you're not passionately ripping each other's clothes off anymore, but what are you passionate about now, either individually or together? In my book, I actually recommend, like, I have a whole chapter of alcohol-free date ideas. One of them is actually like going to a political protest.
Okay.
Stick with me.
All right.
Stick with me.
I'm staying open-minded.
Please, thank you. Just because like a lot of people, our passions change over time. And like maybe you've become passionate about a certain political topic, and going and doing something that engages that level of passion can help you feel more confident, help you feel more fired up, especially if you guys are doing that together. You know, just stop trying to get back to where you were and focus on A, where you are today, and B, where you want to go forward. I think that's the most important thing. And I do have a book recommendation,
Mhm.
not other than mine. My friend Jenny Hogan just came out with a book called Sex for Lazy People. So I think she needs to
Oh
read
my
that
God,
book.
because she literally said, I feel like I've been lazy.
Yeah.
Sex for lazy people.
Yes. Seriously.
I think it's so important to understand that as humans, we evolve and grow. Most of us, in some ways, even the laziest ways, we
Mhm.
change. And that's the one constant that I believe in. Even when you're not consciously improving or changing, you are changing. We're
Totally.
all changing. At the very least, we are aging. Like we're getting older, and there's lots of other life things, hormone things, like work things, family things, friends things that are
Totally.
happening. So like going back to when we first met isn't necessarily the smartest approach to revitalizing passion for each other. In a philosophical way, very similar to your recommendation, is I highly recommend finding a new passion together within the sexual realm.
Mhm.
It could be like, because you're older now, maybe you want to try couple sexual meditation. Maybe you want to look into like what is tantric sex.
Yes.
Maybe you want to look into impact play.
Mhm.
Maybe you want to try a little bit more adventurous. Like maybe you want to look into swinging. Maybe
Or
if
go to a
you,
sex party,
yeah,
go to a
maybe
play
you want to look
party.
into even the easiest one might be sexual mindfulness activities, like looking at each other and
Yes.
describing 5 things that are sexy about our partner.
Syncing your breath together can also be
Yeah.
incredibly
Yeah,
intimate.
erotic breath work.
It can be really powerful. Like you said, when you first start dating,
Mhm.
you're not dealing with family dynamics and like
No.
even if you are dealing with your own personal stuff, you're not talking about it together because it's like this hot new fun dating.
Right.
But like you guys have been together for a long time.
Mhm.
You're in a really exciting different place. You're
Mhm.
comfortable, you're safe, and like you need to feel safe and comfortable. And I think a lot of people, and maybe she's looking for like maybe sex specific advice,
Mhm.
but maybe just communicate. Maybe
Mhm.
just talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I know I haven't given you head in 10
Mhm.
months. Like, let's talk about it.
Yes.
You know, like,
Yes.
and I think people don't want to go there.
Mhm. They don't want to open a can of worms because
Yes.
they feel like there perhaps has been a lot of stuff being shoved in without talking about it for a long
Yes.
time. And now if I mention like, oh, I realize, I haven't give you like oral pleasure for a while, it might then bring up like other things,
Totally.
which is totally fine. Which is completely totally fine. When you're thinking about sexual communication, people are like, oh, how can we approach it in a positive way? But I also want to encourage people to welcome the not so positive things, because when you get through hard conversations, then that's where you have somewhat like a blank slate to like restart your sexual journey together.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's meeting each other where you are.
Yes.
Don't worry about where you were. Where are you today?
Where you are today. Today. Okay, Robert asks, could you please provide a breakdown of a foot fetish? Does it stem from something or just a preference? Thanks. He thanked us in advance.
Yeah.
So we got to have a really solid answer for this.
You probably know way more about this than I do. I don't know.
I teach about it in one of our lectures. So like
Okay.
my sexual communication class is split into 16 lectures throughout the semester. And one of the lectures is kinks and fetishes. And we often we as in like other sexuality professors, try to start a conversation about foot fetish as in like there is no shame in the foot fetish game. So let's put that like in front of this discussion.
Or just in the fetish game in
a
general.
fetish game in general, as long as it's legal, consensual, pleasurable, you do you boo. Yes, but when it comes to foot fetish, there's different theories. One is, sometimes you develop a preference later on in life when you're already a young adult or an adult, and you just find new things sexy, perhaps because it's taboo. People find taboo things sexy all the time.
Yeah.
And I think if your choice was feet, like that's totally fine.
And
People find
why is it taboo though? It's just
feet,
yeah,
right?
why,
It's just
like,
a body part.
It's not that.
Well, it's kind of like pegging. Like it's taboo, because it's like not something that mainstream culture accepts.
It's like saying, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I have a boob fetish. Like, yeah,
It's
everyone
feet.
loves boobs.
But feet have so many nerve endings. So as a
Mm.
receiver, you can actually experience a lot of pleasure. And as a giver, if you're like into looking at it and pleasuring it, like that's totally fine. You love giving pleasure. And maybe it's not a spot where it's mainstream. That's okay. The other theory is that when you were young, you had an arousal response to, at the same time, some kind of feet action.
Oh,
So maybe
okay.
you were a young boy and you're looking down and your teachers are wearing stilettos and it goes click, clack, and
Oh,
then you
yeah.
had like at the same time a random boner, then there is this association that like stilettos equals boner. And so you may have kind of developed like a stimulation towards.
This subconscious connection.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like for those of you that have listened to this podcast for a long time, I'm into fingering. I feel like I've had that wired when I was in my like early teenage years, because my first pleasure came from watching a woman getting fingered and coming really hard. So I have an association to like, oh, getting fingered is pleasurable and I'm aroused thinking about it. So it's very similar.
Hearing you talk about that reminds me of that scene in Fear.
Ooh, what is that?
This movie from the 90s is Reese Witherspoon and Mark
I've
Wahlberg.
never seen it.
They get to the top of a roller coaster or a Ferris wheel, something, and he's fingering her at the top. You'd love it.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah. It's
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Getting fingered on a roller coaster is my new bucket list item. Thank you, Tawny.
Yeah, let me know how it goes.
I gotta watch that movie first to get like
Yes.
mentally turned on. But like, will I get kicked out of Disneyland?
No. Tell him you know me.
Okay. Do you know Tawny? She recommended that I get fingered on this roller coaster.
Yeah, it's Reese Witherspoon and Mark Wahlberg's fault, if anything.
Yes, you must allow. Okay, last question is Sean asks, the other day my wife and I were 69ing. Do you like 69?
I was gonna say, I don't know why that just feels old school to me. We don't do it that much.
There is a whole new revamp.
Is it? Is it
there's
back?
like a whole yes, big group of Gen Zs are like, dude, 69 slaps.
I mean, I guess at that age,
my Gen Z producer said so true.
I mean, I think that's the age when I was doing it, so that makes sense.
It comes back.
Yeah, now I'm like, oh, cool, how retro.
Do you do it with your husband?
We have not done it in so long. Maybe we should.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I do love yes.
Great.
I do love putting my ass in my partner's face.
See, I guess I need to go do that. Nick, stay tuned.
Yes. Her ass is coming.
Yeah.
No, you're coming because her ass will be there.
There it is.
Okay, so the other day my wife and I were 69ing and I realized that I can't multitask.
Mm-hmm.
I was so consumed with eating her pussy that I wasn't able to help her make me come from the blowjob.
See that maybe that's why I don't love it as much, is because it's a lot of stimulation.
It is.
Of how do I receive pleasure while also doing this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do both well.
I love that was your what's the word? Confession.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a confession.
Yeah.
Dear diary.
I don't know how to 69 well.
I love the authenticity though.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the truth. You have to take turns. I think in porn when they pretend to
Yes, of
come
course.
at the same time, I think 99% they are pretending that it's fake. Cuz when I 69, it's like I come first, then you come. So we're 69ing and I'm, playing with the penis and I'm doing the neck thing. I'm playing with the penis, but at the same time, I'm more focused on receiving.
Okay.
And receiving the pleasure from oral from him.
So it's not a 50-50 split.
I don't think so.
It's maybe more like 80-20.
I think a more realistic, pleasurable 69 is when you focus on one person at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, but you stay there. So I can come from clitoral stimulation from oral from him, and then I experience an orgasm. Then I give the blowjob faster because I'm stimulated. And whenever I'm stimulated, my BJ is my neck is like a machine.
That's why you're going like this.
Yes, it's like a chicken. I'm like, bok, 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 bok. it's really so much like more like I can give pleasure so much more wholeheartedly when I just came.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, to tell you the truth, I think a better 69 is when you focus on one person at a time.
What's the gender of this person? Or
Sean,
so
so
Sean-
I'm assuming a man of some sort.
well, I'm wondering, like, maybe a way, some sort of man.
Yes.
I'm wondering if they can maybe practice by going down on their partner while
Yeah.
masturbating.
Yes.
That could be, because like we do like doing that. Like I like
Yeah.
to masturbate while going down on Nick.
You put like a vibrator on
Yes.
your clit, and then yeah, that's my go-to.
I
BJ.
prefer that to 69. So that could be maybe like a bridge for
That's
Sean.
a good practice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their homework.
So mentally, that's how I see a blow job as a blow opportunity, is because I put a vibrator on my clit. I
Mhm.
know I'm gonna come.
Yeah.
And giving a blow job is giving my partner pleasure, which is like a double whammy. So like I give him pleasure, I feel good about that, and I give myself pleasure. I feel good about that.
Yes,
It's very empowering.
Win-win.
Win-win. Okay, so the last segment of my show is called 5 Quickies with Dr. Tara. Do you like quickies?
Let's do. No.
No, you're like an
I need-
extended session.
I need four. What's foreplay before the foreplay called?
4 foreplay.
That 8 play? Is it 8?
Let's
don't know.
see. Let's coin it.
Yes, let's create a term. Because
yeah.
it's like people think of foreplay as just
Yeah.
like oral sex is not foreplay.
Okay.
I need like
BFP. You know how like they say before Christ, like BC? BC is before Christ. So like before foreplay. BFP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre
5 BFP is 5 hours before foreplay.
I mean that's true. I mean, you really could start the foreplay like with some flirty texting during
Yes.
during the day and
Yes.
like build. But no, I
Like,
need like
Thinking about your cock. Send.
yes. Do you remember the show Nip Tuck?
Yes.
One
I
of-
actually love that show.
It was very ahead of its
But
time.
it shows that we're like in our mid-30s.
It really does. Gen Z's like,
What is nip tuck?
Well, there was a line in there where Kimber says, I don't even know if texting was a thing. Maybe it wasn't even an email.
It was like Blackberry.
Well, maybe she
Yeah,
Blackberried.
Blackberry.
She just said, my throat misses your cock. And I was like,
Hot.
oh my God, that's hot.
Get it, girl.
Yeah. Go Kimber.
Oh, wait, I would like to receive a text that says my throat misses your pussy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hot.
Okay, that is hot. Okay, 5 quickies with Dr. Tara. Number 1, worst place to have outdoor sex in New York City.
The dog park.
Number 2, your message to girls who need liquid courage to flirt.
You don't. I promise you do not need liquid courage to flirt. Channel your intrinsic courage. Do shit that makes you feel confident about yourself. And until you feel confident about yourself, I don't think you're ready to date.
Period. Number 3, if the guy you're seeing has navy sheets and no bed frame, what do you do?
Navy sheets?
And no bed frame.
What's wrong with navy sheets?
And no bed frame. Emphasis on no bed frame.
Yeah, the bed frame that's the thing, but
Would
I
you
don't care
fuck
about the
someone
sheets.
with no bed frame?
I mean, I have, but I would not. I was also
in my desperate days, I would, but not now. I have standards.
when I was doing 69, I was fucking people with no bed frame.
Don't correlate that. Number 4, he wears hats in all his photos.
No.
You take him home, you're on top, his beanie falls off, his hairline is significantly back. Do you keep going or stop?
I feel like it's a lie. That would take me out. Like I would feel like I was deceived in some way. So I would need a minute to at least like understand the shift.
Also, just shave your head.
Like
Just Vin Diesel the shit out of
literally,
yourself. That's
like
hot.
nothing. Like stop doing comb overs. Just stop. Like it's you're not fooling anyone. Just shave it.
And also, you wear hats in all the photos. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's very
Like,
Brett Michaels,
like,
Axl
see
Rose.
you. I
Like
wanna
we
see
get it.
you.
Like you're bald.
I want to like lick your head.
Literally, like this is what I'm talking about. Like embracing who you actually
Yeah,
are instead of
yeah.
trying to be something else.
Yeah, I want to like.
You're gonna
hump
be more
your head. Yeah.
Hump the head.
Yeah.
Then we will
Put my
dry
wet pussy on your head.
we will dry hump your wet head. But if you have a comb over, you're not staying.
No, because it's itchy. Number 5, if your pussy could talk, what would it say?
Hey girl.
Hey, girl.
She would say, hey girl, you don't need liquid courage. Like happy humping.
Ooh, love. Mine would probably say, "Hey girl, I forgive you for I forgive you for lasering all your pussy hair when you were 21. So now I'm bald like Vin Diesel down there."
Again, Vin Diesel.
And I kind of miss having the opportunity to have a bush.
I will
Because
say
I don't have that opportunity
I have
anymore.
a full bush and it's great.
Sexy. I feel like it is coming back.
I do not understand the whole concept of getting waxed and lasering.
I'm lasered. So now I'm like a dolphin. My pussy is like, oh.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, where can everyone find you?
You can find me literally everywhere. You could get my book wherever you buy books. Social media, Tawny Lara. And I
show your book.
Oh, my daughter.
Yes.
It really does feel like giving birth.
Mm-hmm,
it's wild. I mean, I've not given birth, but
but you pulled that out of your pussy.
I did. I pulled this out of. This is why I'm so cerebral.
Yes.
And I write a weekly newsletter called Beyond Liquid Courage, where people ask me these kinds of questions, but through the lens of alcohol-free sex, dating, and relationships. And I have a podcast called Recovery Rocks, where we talk about recovery and rock and roll.
Love. Thank you so much for having this sober, sexy chat with me.
Thank you for having me.
And my loves, okay, there are a list of things I want to tell you. One, if you want to ask me questions, go to my website, Luvbites.co. Click ask and ask away. My producer loves seeing all of these questions. We select them and we answer them on the podcast. Two, follow me everywhere on social media. Instagram, TikTok, at Luvbites.co. All of my podcast episodes are on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, good job, good girl, good boy. If you are into praise kink, make sure you subscribe, like, and all the good things, because that makes me really happy and it makes my pussy wet. Lastly, have an orgasmic day. I love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening. This was Love Bites.
Love Bites.
By Dr. Tara. Follow Dr. Tara on social media at lovebites.co. Have an orgasmic day.